Hey, it's Steve Riley. Welcome to this episode of Great Practice, Great Life. And today we're going to intertwine both of those themes with our guest, who has an incredible story of resilience, inspiration, and he's here to help you think about ways of taking what he learned to apply it to your practice to help you grow your practice, have less stress, and make more money. With that, I want to welcome Adam Cordover to the show. Adam, thanks for being here.
Hey, Steve, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you here because you have a great story, but you were very adamant about some things that you want to pass on to your colleagues. But before we get into your recommendations, before we get into your Atticus journey, let's talk a little bit about your practice because you have a very unique practice. You have an incredible niche, and you've done some really cool things professionally that are, I would say that are uncommon. So let's talk about your practice for a second. Talk to me about your practice and your journey to set up this practice.
Yeah, sure. I have a mostly virtual law firm, and I'll discuss what that means in a little bit. And I focus on collaborative divorce and family law. In fact, I run an exclusively out of court dispute resolution practice. Again, I'll discuss a little bit more about that in a little bit. But I've had a lot of different opportunities in really the last 10 years or so. I'm co-editor and co-author of an American Bar Association book with Forrest Mostyn of building a successful collaborative family law practice, which was published in 2018. The recipient of the inaugural Visionary Award of the Florida Academy of Collaborative Professionals for founding and co-instructing the Leadership Institute of the FACP. I'm also a trainer with the Tampa Bay Collaborative Trainers, where I've had just amazing opportunities to go around the US, Canada, France, and even Israel, teaching judges, general magistrates, attorneys, mental health professionals, and financial professionals, and others how to offer collaborative family law services. And recently, I was a board member of the International Academy of Collaborative Professionals, where it truly was an international organization. I got to work with colleagues from Singapore, Australia, really around the world in helping to promote collaborative practice in what I think is a better way for families to resolve disputes.
Let's talk about how you use certain strategies and tools after the hurricane to rebuild your practice and rebuild your life. Does that work
Yeah,
for you?
I created an emergency fund for the first time for my business, and doing something like that. Well, first off, it turned out I would need it, so I'm happy that I did that. But even before then, it gave me the confidence to invest in my practice in ways that I didn't feel like I could before. Um, uh, so it allowed me to be comfortable with, when my firm needed expanding to contact building my great team from Atticus, so that they can help me hire a virtual assistant and marketing assistant for my practice, to hire consultants for marketing and operations to streamline things, to doing the things that will help grow my practice and help me and the folks in my firm make more money.
You get your practices, your home slammed. You've moved from hour and a half away to Lakeland, which is clearly off the coast, and you're trying to rebuild. What was the first strategy you used to rebuild? What did you do? If you were to say, "Hey, look, if there's one piece of advice I can give you that I learned out of recovering from the hurricane, in addition to taking the advice of having a war chest or an emergency fund, this was the biggest thing I learned."
So I um, I was really overwhelmed, um, and um, and I wasn't sure where to start. And I know that you and others in Atticus have been a big advocate of the My Great Planner um, book, which essentially allows you to plan each day. And I've heard that and maybe looked at it every once in a while and used it, but I really never implemented it. prior to the storm, but I realized my mind was just racing in a million different directions. I was facing these challenges, and I realized I needed to start somewhere. And I think I was actually listening uh, to something which again brought up the Migrate Planner book, and I thought to myself, let's just try it. Um, and what it allowed me to do, and what I started doing, is building the habit. The first thing that I did every day was write down what I wanted to accomplish. Um,
Right.
and
Adam,
um,
I'll interrupt you just for a
yeah,
second because I want to set context for people that are audience members. One of the things that we recommend to our members, Atticus members, is to use a focusing system that we call Migrate Life. Now, sometimes we call it the Migrate Life Planner, sometimes we call it the Migrate Life Focus, but it basically is a system we designed about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, but we give to our members that integrates about 20 coaching concepts that we teach our members. Everything from the cash flow focuser to the central question that really we ask all of our members. You can hear Adam and I tossing it around today is what does a great life look like to you? What does a great practice look like to you? Not more efficient, not more focused, not more profitable, which could be under those things. But the central core question is what does a great life look like to you? And so as Adam comes out of the hurricane, he's coming out of a fog, he's overwhelmed. This is one of the reasons we recommend people develop the habit. And you're saying it perfectly, Adam, the habit of using the planner because it develops the ability to focus your thinking. It becomes a habit. You say, okay, what's a great day look like to me? You dump everything out of your brain, so you're not enhancing anxiety by causing more things running around. If you're looking to make money as a lawyer, one of the biggest things that you want to start is maybe expressing gratitude to the other people that send you business. I don't care if it's simple as thank you note. So anyhow, I agree with you. Mark expressed a huge he was doing a remarkable walking the talk. It's one of our values in the company is doing a remarkable walking the talk. So
and and on
what
that
else?
on that gratitude, Steve, because I think that was certainly one of the lessons I learned, and I think it's not just important for referral sources, but for for the staff, for your staff, and really, well, who wants to work for an a-hole and who wants to go the extra mile for an a-hole? If you express your gratitude when challenges come to you and when you've given grace to others when they face challenges, then I think that helps you with your business and that helps you weather it. And so I'm, as I mentioned earlier, I'm so grateful to my staff and my paralegal, and then also to my friends and family. And I have to say, Steve, one of the lessons learned, um, I it's not easy for me to rely on others. I'm so used to being the person who wants to do it everything on my own, to rely on myself because I know I'll get it done and I'll get it done right. But I realize that I can't, especially after this. Um, it's just not how life works. You have to rely on other people. And I have to, that's probably been one of the biggest challenges for me, is kind of letting go and saying, okay, I don't have to be the particular person to meet the FEMA inspector 2 hours away from my house. I've got family who's willing to do that, in friends who are willing to do that, or there might be a meeting that I don't necessarily have to be at, but in fact, we're not going to be talking about substantive stuff. My paralegal can sub in for me, and do that. So that has also been a big lesson and I think it stems from gratitude. I think other people's willingness to be there, and so that you can rely on them.